My name is Berger. I've been working in Montessori for about 22, 23 years now. What, if anything, does anybody have any sense of what Montessori education is about?
Developing natural interest.
Oh, I like it. Except I'll give you a hard time about that word. In a nice way. Mostly the clue is in this word. Sorry, it's natural interest. So it's not developing, it would be more leveraging. You know, making use of natural interest. Interest is natural, so we don't need to develop it. Children have, human beings have a natural desire to learn. There isn't actually a problem with motivation and learning. Now, most people working in traditional, conventional education would go, buddy, you haven't worked in schools. There's a huge problem with motivation and learning. And I go, yeah, in the conventional model, which is not based on anything natural and how people actually learn, when you take an understanding of how children actually learn, you find that there's no problem with interest and motivation because there's not a single living species on this planet that's alive that doesn't automatically do one thing. It wants to thrive. It wants to improve itself and grow and thrive, and that's what living things do. And human beings fundamentally are living things. So if you take a system that's based on simply how living things grow and develop and understand what that is, and that's what your whole education approach looks like, you don't have a problem. And then I come back to the Montessori, this foundational idea in Montessori of learning by doing. I don't think it's a controversial statement. You learn what you do. You can't learn what you don't do. Okay? You can't learn what you don't do. You want to learn how to ride a bike? You have to have a bike, be given the opportunity to get on the bike and figure out how to balance and the speed and so on. 10-year-olds who don't know how to ride a bike, it's probably because nobody ever gave them a bike to learn how to ride. So you learn what you do, you don't learn what you don't do. You can't become, in other words, a responsible, resourceful, intrinsically motivated, creative thinking kind of a person if your whole educational life hasn't given you the opportunities to develop those things, right? If they haven't given you the bicycle. So you can be 21 and not be intrinsically motivated because our whole conventional approach to education is based on extrinsic motivation, right? Dangling rewards and prizes outside of you as the thing that motivates you to want to perform well. It starts with your parents maybe giving you, prizes if you do well on an exam, on a test, whether you're 6 years old, 10 years old, 14 years old, whatever, 18 years old. Your parents give you rewards and prizes if you get lots of A's on your report card. Or they punish you if you get too many, poor marks on your report card. Those are all extrinsic motivators. They're trying to tell you, perform at a certain level for these reasons over here. Right? When you're in school at a young age, it's gold stars and teddy bear stickers and balloon stickers and all these extrinsic rewards. You should do well because you'll get these nice things on your work. Okay? Bad, wrong, and flies in the face of how human beings actually learn and develop. And there's lots of research in psychology that supports this whole area. There's 60 years of research around the idea of intrinsic motivation. People perform better when they're doing it for themselves. Learning by doing is this fundamental, foundational idea in Montessori because that's how people learn and become. And if you want education to prepare children for living their lives, you have to let them do the doing. Right? Doing research, doing things, practicing the actual stuff, meeting deadlines, being motivated to do your work, those kinds of things.